Welcome to McDonald's Coaches Bench here on Mix 104.1. We're very, very happy. Week 1 is here. It's almost kickoff, and this pre-recorded program is going to be aired on Mix 104.1 just in a moment, and then the kickoff from Cleveland High School. Tremendous rival game tonight here on Mix 104.1. It'll also be on MixTV.tv, and also the broadcast, the broadcasters that cover Walker Valley are on Oldies 99.1. So all of us will be at Cleveland High and kick off 7 o'clock. And if you can't be there, you've got those 3 options to listen or watch the game on our sister stations. Terry Evans, and very, very happy to introduce this young man to Cleveland. I think most Clevelanders know him by now. He's made a lot of public appearances, well known from the past. Coach Brown, welcome to Cleveland's Coaches Bench, brought to you by McDonald's and Mark Smith.
Oh, pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, and it's always great to talk to you.
Well, you and I have had a bunch of talks off the air this summer, and I appreciate your hospitality and the information that you give me. And so the basis of this program for years and years, sponsored by McDonald's, we appreciate all of those people. And just to talk about Cleveland football and the opponent for the game that's going to be played in a little bit. And let's get to the Blue Raiders. First of all, go offense. Give us some of your thoughts about the Blue Raider offense tonight.
Well, we're just excited to see it, under the actual lights when it's all on the, all up for grabs. We think we have a pretty potent potential running attack with a multi-headed running back room, and we're excited to see the full potential of Casey McGowan at quarterback with him not in a dead jersey, with him allowed to use his legs as well as his arm, and just see the growth here in our 4th contest, the 3 scrimmages being the first 3 of our offensive line unit. We know we have big play capability out of our receivers. We're just excited to see how it all pieces together tonight.
And we interviewed him this week, and in fact just a day or so ago, and he's excited. He wants to lead this team. He talked about so many positives with this team and how it's a close-knit group and everybody's held accountable, whether on this football team you're a starter or, if you're just out there practicing every day and you're not starting, still everybody is very accountable for what happens, locker room and everything else. And so he was very upbeat about everything.
Well, we have to have standards and expectations for everything that you do within your program, and it has to apply to everyone, coaches included. So, I think our kids have bought into that. They understand that it's unwavering. It's not, based on the mood that we're in or the quality of play of a player. It's just the standard expectation for all. And I think kids find a lot of comfort and a lot of respect for being held to those high standards. And I think it's great to hear that your team leaders are buying into it, because that just increases the process of your growth.
The running back situation, Beard has looked good this preseason, but you've got a couple of other kids that can tote the mail for you.
We do. We feel like for what we're trying to get done from that position, it can't just fall squarely on one player's shoulders. So Anthony Ant Edens, and we think Brendan Jones has an ability to step up and help us take some carries as well. And we got some young freshmen, Tyrell Amerson, that we feel like could also potentially tote the rock for us on Fridays. But with a combination of those 3, maybe 4, we feel like we can get it done on the ground.
The offensive line, you've got a new offensive line coach. In fact, he came from the team that you're playing tonight, well-respected young man, and I know he's been working hard with a very young offensive line.
I tried to hire Coach Braun when I was at Red Bank as a head coach. I've been familiar with his work and his ability to teach technique and build esprit de corps amongst those linemen for a long time. And he's brought that particular group miles. Now we still have a ways to go everywhere, but I'm excited to see their growth, not just the first game of the year, but as the season continues, because it is an overall young group. We have one senior as a starter, and the rest, even the rotators, are all underclassmen.
Right.
But where there's youth, there's enthusiasm, and there's an eagerness, and there's a togetherness of that group that we're just going to continue to cultivate and coach up.
And then you've got some talent on the outside there, in the practices and scrimmage game that I saw and everything. There's some talent spread out a long way from the center.
Yes, there is. Cleveland's never going to be without some athleticism, and that's true even this year with all that's going on this offseason. We still have a bevy of skill players that we feel can go out and make plays. Kyrese Westfield, Kyrie Scott, Braden Mejia, Titus Matthews. The list goes on of guys that we feel really comfortable showcasing and trying to put the ball in their hands. Senior Emilio Green has done a great job in all three phases of the game for us. Again, you don't really know what you are, who you are, until you play that first game under the lights. So just like I was talking about the young offensive line, I feel the same way about the receiver corps. Let's see who can make the big play when it matters.
I also interviewed Emilio earlier this week, and that program's already played when this one will be played on Mix before the game. And I asked him, I said, a week or so ago, Mix 104.1 had a media day, and all the area coaches were there. And when Coach Brown got up and he introduced you and McGowan, and I said, he looked at you, Emilio, and he said, I judged the team by looking at him. And I said, how did that make you feel? And he said, well, it made me feel really good that he looks at me in that role of, if I'm ready, if I'm giving it my all, etc. So he took it as a compliment.
Yeah, he's earned it, and he's not the only one. But even with the much publicized turnover of a roster, we're not without great young men. We're not without leaders in their own right from all age groups, and they have emerged as we've turned the fire on them. And it's my job as a head coach to make sure that I'm taking the temperature through those young men and mentoring and guiding our leaders so they can mentor and guide this young roster.
Yeah, the guys that I talked to this week, everything was positive. Nobody, even off the air, complaining or any negativity whatsoever. Everything was uplifting. We're ready to play football. We want to show what we can do. And togetherness was another big theme that they talked about. And like I say, that's on the air and off the air. So
it's great.
It's great to talk to people who are in a positive frame of mind.
Well, we control that. There are very few circumstances that you have 100% control of, and that's your attitude and your effort. So if we have those at an elite level, then we feel like whatever may bounce the opposite way or our way, we can manage. So we're going to be elite in the things that we can control.
We'll take our first break here on McDonald's Coaches Bench. We'll be right back after this and talk more with Coach Brown, the new head coach at Cleveland High School, after this break.
To the people who reach into a carton of warm, crispy, golden, perfectly salted McDonald's world-famous fries and return with just one. Who are you, and how do you do that? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome to segment 2 of McDonald's Coaches Bench. And once again, thanks to Mark Smith, a big supporter of Cleveland High School, and everybody at McDonald's. No matter what your job is at McDonald's, we appreciate you, and we appreciate the sponsorship that Mark Smith has given this program for many, many years. Coach Brown, let's go to the D for a moment. Your specialty, I suppose I'm okay in saying that, but let's talk about the D for a moment.
Oh, yeah, it's where I cut my teeth. It's where I've spent most of my coaching career, on that side of the ball specifically. And the great thing about defense is a 1-2 thing. It's your energy and gusto can make up for your lack of size or your lack of overall speed, and that's what I really want to see in our guys. Will you continue to fight? Will you continue to press? Will you continue to push through the resistance for 4 quarters? Mm-hmm. And of course that's true anywhere in football in all 3 phases, but particularly on defense is where you find the grit of your team and your individuals on it.
And you've got some people that like to swarm to the ball.
We better. we better now. That's the expectation.
Tell us. Let's start with the D line.
That's probably our youngest, most inexperienced position group, but we feel like Noah Nicholas at the nose gives us a chance to have a strong presence up front at the very center of attack, so to speak. We have a very capable and athletic defensive end in Dax Evans, and then we have a hybrid top player in Gage McDowell, another young underclassman that has played in a 2-point and has been at the linebacker position, but we like his dynamic ability from up front of that first level. So we're really excited to see those three, just get a chance to actually do it when it counts. Mm-hmm. And then we have a solid rotation. I mean, defensive line, if you only have three, then you don't have any. And so the depth there is key, and that'll be a big piece of our development as we move down the line in our schedule. But, Tracy Denard is a versatile guy who can swing inside and outside for us. We have others that we're really excited to see as they get their opportunities on Thursday night.
Right. And let's go to the linebacker slot. You have Denatolis, number 0. He changed numbers on us this year, but anyway, let's start with him and go outward.
He's a very cerebral young man, not just in football, but he's a tremendously, just a very smart, intelligent, introspective young man. A pleasure to be around. You don't see that all the time inside of a high school locker room, but he's able to retain and understand checks and autos and get us in the right look. And he's partnered there inside right now with Lacorius Edens, who brings a level of athleticism to the middle linebacker position that's a treat. You don't usually get that type of speed and that burst out of that position, but he certainly is a weapon for us there. Both of them being underclassmen too is exciting as a multi-year investment. And then I feel like we have another young playable player inside there with Trey Highland, and you got some other guys trying to come back from some preseason nicks there. But we feel good inside there. I'm excited to see them fit and play bigger than their actual weight. But
that's a great way of putting it.
That's what we do. It's what we're going to be doing in a lot of places this year. But it's a good position.
Bring the hammer. No matter what size you have, bring the hammer.
Absolutely.
And then let's go to your secondary, and some people who the fans will see catching passes, running great routes, are also some people who are going to depended upon in the secondary.
Really, wherever you are, especially in the skill in the back seven, you're going to cross over and you're going to play special teams. So these names are transient. They're going all over the field on Friday night. But starting with our outside linebackers again, Emilio Green, that will play to the field quite a bit, and Landon Lowe and Quentin Jones are two bigger bodied kids that we like at outside linebacker as well. Both with different skill sets that we'll take advantage of. Quentin will help us at fullback in our offense as well, just a big target who can run better than you think. Mm-hmm. And then, working outward at corner, we have Cam Wilson, a sophomore, who's very rangy, long. And then opposite him, we have Braden Mejia, who can also rotate back to the safety position for us situationally. And Javen Trammell and Jai Isbell, another young, actually he's a freshman, we feel like can come in and give us quality reps. And that safety position, we have Kyrese Westfield and Kyrie Scott again, and Titus Matthews can flip back there and give us a look. And then Sloan Bolaños, the highly decorated kicker and punter, is also in his own right a tremendous athlete and has really stepped up to the challenge of, can I learn a position other than kicker? And in my opinion, is doing a great job. So he can provide us some depth back there as well.
I was at the Boyd Buchanan scrimmage the other day, and I saw a number 13 jersey playing safety, and I thought, well, now, it can't be Bolaños. Do we have some kid that just happened to grab a number 13 jersey? And then I kept watching, of course, and it was Sloan.
Oh, yeah.
And he was making some plays. And
yes,
so I thought, wow, I always pictured him kicking the ball and then going to the sideline.
It's specialists that when you get in the higher classifications are more normal, but honestly, I've always given kicker is the option. I mean, do you want to learn other positions? And as far as I'm concerned, anyone who comes and plays within our football program should have the opportunity to learn all three phases. And he just happened to take me up on it. And his athleticism's been well documented here at Cleveland. A multi-sport athlete, and a tremendous one at that. So we're just excited to see what that translates to outside of his kicking roles.
Absolutely. We'll take our final break here on Coach's Bench, brought to you by Smith Family McDonald's in Southeast Tennessee. We'll come back and we'll talk Walker Valley in just a moment. Coach Brown, to wrap up the program, let's talk about the Mustangs for a moment. You have known Drew Akins a while and everything, and he has done, in my opinion, extremely well rebuilding the Walker Valley program. And if memory serves, this would be year number 7 for him up there. And anyway, when I think about Walker Valley, I think of a experienced and talented football team. So kind of give us your thoughts about facing the Mustangs at 7 o'clock tonight at Raider Field.
Well, they're senior laden, and again, Coach Akins has done a wonderful job there. He's built a strong program and really maximized his group year to year. And they have high expectations for the squad and going into their 5A region and beyond, and they should, because they have a great team. They're especially talented on the perimeter with big-bodied receivers. I think they have about 3 6'3" and taller, and they're not without the weight room. So they're a big part of their offense is being able to get those matchups with those big-bodied receivers and hybrid types. He's got a signal caller that can then spin it pretty well, and he's putting a lot on them. I think it has a high football IQ and makes good decisions. And he's got an offensive line that Coach Akins knows how to call with. Mm-hmm. So some experience up there and some individually talented kids. And, I feel like he always gets the most out of his offense, and we know the matchup in front of us.
Okay. When you look at the Mustang defense, what comes to mind?
A good unit. They're solid. They're solid position to position. They're like any team right now. They're still trying to solidify their schemes, and they're just like every program. You're still making mistakes at this phase in the season. At least you should be if you're playing 100%, 100 miles an hour. But the quality is there at all 3 levels. We're going to have our hands full up front with a couple of their defensive ends, and they're solid at linebacker. And, in the back end, they've got a couple of seniors there that have played a lot of football and have seen a lot of things. So we're expecting to have to go out and execute well in order to have success.
Let's welcome everybody to Raider Field. If you're not at Raider Field just yet, then get there soon. It's going to be a big crowd. It's going to be a great football game. It's a rival game, a Thursday night game. And let's kick off the 2025 season in great shape with a great crowd, a lot of enthusiasm. With Mix TV and Mix 104.1 radio and 99.1, that will be the broadcasters for Walker Valley. We all do our best to make it entertaining, informative, and hope you listen if you can't be there. But nothing replaces being at the game, does it, Coach Brown?
Not at all. Come be a part of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's what makes this special.
be there tonight at Raider Field. Until next week, for Coach Brown, Terry Evans saying, see you next time.